Hello, welcome back with LJN. I'm still talking about Jannat, the 4-year-old who was murdered and left to die, and she died after she was found 4 days later in a deep well where she was cold and where she was starving, and she eventually succumbed. She's become a statistic, as we expect in Pakistan. Um, but it is our fault that she's becoming a statistic, and other crimes like these are also being swept away. And the only time we do look back at these cases or these numbers is when there is another incident. So it seems that pedophilia has become a very, very serious issue in Pakistan, and we need to be focusing on these, and we need to revisit the laws, as I keep saying. Nobody's really taken these issues up, no, not proactively at least. The media needs to keep going after this. Now, Jannat is a 4-year-old picked up from her area, taken, raped, and left to die. And people are looking for her. So, in those 4 days in which she was missing, well, what was the police doing? What were the people doing? What were people in her area doing? If she could be found 4 days later in a well near that area, I mean, how much common sense does it require to increase your span of search for a child who's missing? The first 24 hours and the first 48 hours are the most crucial, they say. Investigators usually say that 24 hours, and if not 48 hours, you need to find the child because or a victim, because those are the most crucial hours. We don't see people being proactive after a child is gone missing, and it's weird because I don't understand how can you not understand the seriousness of this crime. And the second thing is, we need sociologists to wake up and research this phenomena. Why are we seeing so many crimes against children? Again, I'll say they've always been there, they've always been committed, but why? What is the reason? What do we need to do? What social changes need to be done to find out and identify people who can become pedophiles? Once again, when I was going down the street, and there were two children at 7 o'clock, 8 o'clock in the night. Two young children, not more than 6. What are their parents doing? They looked as if they were living in one of the low income areas. But, parents need to be more vigilant. We need to tell these parents that you can't just leave your child out there, especially when seems to be this wave of predators that are looking for young children. The parents need to take up the responsibility. The whole community needs to identify, keep an eye on people, keep an eye on these children. If there is no other way to make our children safer, we need to do it on an individual level. We need to make sure that a child wandering on the streets late in the night, in the evening, where and why is that child roaming around? Police should be more vigilant. Shopkeepers need to keep an eye open. And if those children go missing, this chain of people should be questioned, pressured by the community as well as the law. It's everybody's responsibility. It's a social responsibility, and if we don't make any efforts ourselves, I don't think anybody else will be able to help us. Shopkeepers know who is frequenting that area. They can tell you if there's a new face in the area. Other people around the areas can tell you. Chowkidars, like the watchmen sitting at the gates of different buildings, they can identify new faces. They can tell people. They can make an effort to ask that person, see if the children that are there are not being attracted by that person, or that person is trying to get themselves involved with that child. These are small steps that we can take to save children from falling prey. So we need to wake up. We need the media and the government to work on this. We need people to be told. A campaign needs to be formed to spread proper awareness, and we need to give them a checklist. People of the area, the cops on the street, sweepers, people who are out in the open who can probably save a lot of children from falling into these hands. So, Pakistan, you need to wake up and do something for the children of our country.